Hello, and thanks for joining us on another segment of Mission Minutes. It's been way too long. For today's show, we're going to share how we partnered with Christus Chile bringing ServiceNow to Latin America. And I have to say, it has been an honor to do so. The success we've had up to this point has been amazing. And between the people, the country, the technology, and the future opportunities, I have no idea where to begin. Should we just cut to go live?
Gracias por llamar a la mesa de servicio Red De Salud. ¿En qué le puedo ayudar?
Okay, maybe not. We don't want to spoil it. Instead, let's take a look back as to what got us to this point to begin with. First, I sit with Hugo de la Rosa, CIO for Christus Chile, and he shares his observations and practices he wants to adopt and how we, along with ServiceNow, can help.
We wasn't able to create that connection between the IT and operation teams. We discovered that, and we was forced to look for practices, processes, and even tools to create that connection. And that make us to talk with Christus and ask for help and try to know what they are doing, how they solve these kind of problems. And we found that with Christus help and with ServiceNow, we are going to be able to create that connection. Now we are starting with the ticketing. Probably we will follow with some self-service portals. After that, with our change management and our project management also. Why not? And I believe that we will be able to do a lot of things that make us grow as an IT organization. So this project, at least for us, is a huge step in our growth path.
So we agree that ServiceNow is an answer to many of their process opportunities. Now we're charged to make it happen. In order to do so, we need a team. And we had a great start. Christus Chile had already put together a team to drive their side of the initiative. Right before we meet that team, let's take a closer look at their department. It's made up of about 90 people, and just like Christus US, they have network teams, server teams, apps teams, a service desk, project and change management teams, etc. Also, not unlike us, they're an ITIL shop and regularly face the same tough questions and decisions about process and best practice. You know, that place where theory meets application. Now let's meet the Red De Salud ServiceNow team. First, let's meet Jessica. Jessica leads the service support teams. This includes the service desk, application support groups, field services, and also leads the technical project initiatives for Red De Salud. She is one of our key stakeholders. Now this is Jose, the project manager for our implementation, very focused and passionate about delivering successful outcomes to the organization. I cannot thank him enough for keeping us on course. Jorge is the manager of the service desk. Operations and ITIL are Jorge's gifts, and he proves to be extremely invested in ServiceNow. He gets it. Sebastian also works with the service desk, and he will be the team's lead administrator. And this is just a core group. The participation has been amazing, and their engagement is leading us to success. Now let's move to the US team. Benetta Raby, System Director of Strategy and Performance Improvement. She has guided and supported this effort from the get-go. Alberto Bermudez, our liaison to Red De Salud, and also known as a BFHR analyst, and has wonderful rapport with our Chileno partners. Rex Baer, lead ServiceNow developer and amazing contributor to this effort. Omar Martinez, senior ITSM strategist and ServiceNow strategist. And I have to thank the whole snazzy team, the SPY team, Stephanie Rendon and George Conklin. We could not have done it without all your support. We have a goal, we have a team, and now we have a deadline. It's time to make it happen. It's time we grind out our configurations, set up their platform, train their service desk and support teams, train their system administrators, finalize a project plan, and make sure we're ready. time we visit our familia in Chile. From DFW to Santiago, Chile, it's roughly 10 hours. And this is my first really long flight. Now, once I got settled, it took me some time to get comfortable enough to rest. And not a lot of room, so a little unprepared to say the least. And this is in contrast to my seasoned counterpart, Alberto, who seems to have a good working system. As well he should. Alberto, Trey, and others have been traveling to and fro for over 2 years now, helping build the bridges which bring our Christus families together. The trip takes us from Texas to Chile. We cross the Pacific Ocean and run parallel to the Andes Mountains for some time. The Andes are a dramatic and beautiful geographic feature of South America. 4,400 miles long, they are the longest mountain region in the world and run from the north to the south of the continent. Needless to say, you can see them from the window as we get closer to our destination. Santiago, also known as Santiago de Chile, is the capital and the largest city in Chile. It rests between the Andes Mountains and the South Pacific Ocean and is wonderfully filled with a rich history and visual aesthetics that are enchanting and delightful. Upon arrival, we are first met by Mother Nature. At the time of this video, it is 100 degrees in Texas, but chilly in Chile. Either way, we're set to hit the hotel, drop off our luggage, and get ready for work. But we've lost sleep, so are in need of some coffee. We take a quick stroll downtown and stumble upon the Juan Valdez coffee shop. Really? What more could I ask? All right, good morning, everybody. I'm here with Senor Alberto Bermudez. Alberto, good morning, sir. Good morning. Good morning. So I'm having my first cup of coffee here in Chile. It's like 50 degrees. We just lost 2 hours of sleep on the plane ride over here because they are ahead by us by 2 hours. So gotta wake up, got an extra shot in my cappuccino here. You see the mountain view in the background. It is winter down here in Chile at the moment, so we're enjoying it right now. But are you ready to get this day started, Buzz?
Let's get it started.
All right, let's get this day started. And we're off. So once at the home office, we get straight to business. Our goal of this trip is to introduce the support teams to ServiceNow and help them get familiar with the ins and outs. ServiceNow has this amazing ability to translate into many languages. We have configured the default language for Red De Salud as Spanish, of course. But the teams are eager and show their willingness to learn throughout all the training sessions. As hard as it is to change your main ITSM tool, our Chilean friends have shown remarkable resolve. This translated into great capacitaciones, training sessions, and their kindness allotted me a little room to get the cobwebs off of my Espanol. And I actually needed a lot of room to get the cobwebs off my Espanol. Now, if I may elaborate a little more on a technical item, let me take this opportunity to share some insights of how we have set up the Chilean ServiceNow instance, hereinafter referred to as our Latin American instance. For Latin America, we have set up a brand new independent instance of ServiceNow and have configured it as domain separated. This means we can administrate Chile uniquely in their own domain and still have the opportunity to bring in future partners to have their own ServiceNow experience. We will maintain the ability to administrate the system at a global level, cascading workflows or business rules, or the domain level, which would only impact that specific domain. This also gives the visibility into global metrics, giving us key performance analytical insights. We now have the flexibility we need to bring in future partners. We have an inclination this is on the horizon. Well, it's sundown on our first trip, so we head home, where for the next few weeks, we'll prep for go live. Anticipation and a little jitter set in. There is little room for error because on our go live date, there is no wiggle room at all. The Chilean team is so excited and confident in our progress that the decision had been made to sunset their old tool. And that's okay, because we're as confident and as excited as they are. Once a few weeks pass, we pack up and head back to Chile, We kick into gear and set up the war room, and for the first 2 days, finalize configurations for the service desk and other teams. We find ourselves uploading data from the system they're retiring, prepping their CMDB, and making sure all the business rules are executing properly. You know, the fun stuff. We even found ourselves up to 2 a.m. the night before go live. Good thing we stumbled upon Pasta Basta, an excellent source for desserts. Essential for replenishing our glucose stores, fueling our brains, contributing to enhanced focus, determination, and willpower to get the job done.
Gracias por llamar a la mesa de servicio Red De Salud. ¿En qué le puedo ayudar?
This is reason to celebrate. What's close to the end of our trip, but before we go, 2 quick questions need to be asked. How did it go, and what's next? First, we'll sit with Jessica.
Intensa, fue intensa, pero la verdad es que fue como, ¿cierto?
Really.
Entonces, no, muy contento y con muchas ganas de seguir mejorando, porque en el fondo es como es como hambre.
Yeah,
¿Cierto? Tú vas encontrando el beneficio de algo y vas buscando y quieres mejorarlo. Así que, no, muy bien. Y el equipo contento.
Sí.
El equipo contento.
Ok. ¿Hay otros comentarios o algo que compartir?
Sí, volver a agradecerle, de verdad, muy agradecido por el equipo Cristos Estados Unidos, por Alejandro, por Hugo, por George. Cierto que nos acompañan también y nos apoyan en este paso que efectivamente es para buscar la mejora del servicio y a nivel transversal por One Christus, ¿no?
And you know, I believe that we are creating something huge because probably we can have different identities. But we are creating one culture, and that is amazing because it doesn't matter if it's United States, doesn't matter if it's Mexico, doesn't matter if it's Chile, but the culture of service, the culture of performance, the culture to help our patient will remain in all the entities, and that is awesome, and that is something that really creates success in an organization. I believe that ServiceNow it's an example to follow for other projects, and will show to the rest of the organization that create synergies between or share experiences between all the organizations will produce good things for this organization. And not just for the Red De Salud, for Christus, and with a common goal that I believe that everybody has, that is extend the ministry of Jesus Christ. That's awesome. We are creating one Christus. Nothing more than that.
And as you can imagine, doing a project like this long distance can be difficult. Getting everybody organized, getting good communication going, making sure that all the steps are being followed to get the system live is a pretty significant undertaking when you're talking between the United States and Chile, half a world away, but also talking about language barriers, all sorts of other things that can get in the way of us being able to effectively pull this off. But the fact of the matter is we did pull this off effectively and did a great job. One, it's testimony to our leader there in Chile, Hugo, who has a solid IT operation down there. And obviously for our guys to have stepped up to that challenge to assist with putting ServiceNow in, helping them understand what benefits we've been able to derive from the use of the system. I think some very big next steps for us as well is going to be the work that we'll be doing with the Muguerza facilities in Mexico. I think again this sets a precedent for us to be able to start providing these kinds of services and some of these technologies at hopefully much lower cost than what they would be getting them if they went out on their own. And the thing that does for us is it improves our ability to carry out the mission. Again, not only in the United States, but across the Western Hemisphere. So I hope no one is underestimating the potential value that this big step is going to provide back to Christus to help us move forward. So the one last thing I'd want to say is kudos and congratulations to the team that pulled this off, both the USIM team as well as the Chilean team that worked so hard to get this up and operational in a pretty short period of time. Thank you all for the very hard work that you've done to make this possible.
Isn't that a blessing? You should all be proud in your contributions to this department and organization's success. It overflows to those around us, and make no mistake, you add value. So go forward and continue to be that instrument of success. And until we meet again, as they say in Chile, ciao.
Thank you.